magical white continent of Antarctica. It's a vast, untamed wilderness with the giant ice shelves and rugged mountains and abundant marine wildlife. It is even more magical than I could ever have imagined. It is the coldest, windiest, highest and driest continent on the planet. But somehow those brutal elements make for a raw beauty that is just beyond compare. It is just such a privilege to be here. From the southernmost city of the world, Ushuaia, we've cruised through the Drake Passage all the way to the world's 7th continent. And thanks to our incredible discovery yacht, Scenic Eclipse, the journey has been nothing less than luxurious. This is my veranda suite. It's the entry-level accommodation on board, and its king-size bed is just one of this room's many luxuries. Being at sea invokes images of cramped cabins and confined spaces, but these scenic suites are anything but. They are as luxurious and spacious as any of the finest hotels in the world. But there are no hotels anywhere in the world that can offer an ever-changing view like this. We've arrived in a place called Paradise Harbour, and for us guests, it really is the icy paradise of our dreams. Wow, waking up to this, it's nothing like it. It's just a grand sculpture garden with the elements as the artist. It's incredible. So Sam, you're in your element here.
Absolutely. When you're down here, you can see bergs that calved off before I was born and are still floating around in this incredibly cold water. The size and the colors, the infinite number of shapes and arches. I've never seen anything like it anywhere else in my life.
Do you have names for all of these shapes and sizes and forms of ice?
Those massive tabletop bergs, those are tabular icebergs, and those don't exist anywhere else on Earth. Then you have some of the things that we're surrounded by, which are called growlers, which are just a small version of an iceberg, basically.
When you look out there and you see the variety, it's pretty amazing.
If anyone were to ask me, what's the single most amazing thing you've ever seen, I wouldn't have to think about it at all. Most incredible spot on Earth.
Heading south to our next stunning destination, what's impressed me about my time travelling on Scenic Eclipse is that despite this gorgeous but somewhat harsh environment, time on board has been incredibly comfortable.
The ship is built with Antarctica in mind. It's ice strengthened, so we don't worry about going into the ice. From the technology side, they give us a lot of power. So this gives the ship amazing ability to maneuver. For example, in the propulsion, they give us this extra oversized stabilizers. So that's why it's so comfortable and so nice and easy to go to these most remote areas in the world, in ultra luxury, I may say. And this Scenic Eclipse is luxury.
Our next secluded destination has an almost mystical appeal. With its incredibly calm waters and gentle snowfall.
We're in a place called Sierva Cove right now, which is an indentation on the mainland, on the Antarctic continent. It's essentially a big bay with arms reaching out into the Gerlache Strait.
That's why it's so nice and sheltered in here? Wow, beautiful. You can see on the surface of the water, is that the water turning into ice?
Very slowly, yeah. It's a bit of a gradual process. When you have calm weather like this for a few days, then you get the conditions where the ocean can start to freeze over, and that's what you'd expect to see this time of year.
And so in another few weeks, would this all start to congeal?
Generally, yes. Especially in the bays, in the backs of the bays like we are now.
If we came back this time next year, would this all change, or would they be pretty much the same?
Oh no, it changes completely. Even from now to next week, it's going to look completely different. So you get one windy day, all of this gets blown out, then moves around, and then you might get different ice blown back in the next day. So completely impermanent, it changes all the time.
And then there's the wildlife. ready to delight you at every turn, like this lone penguin seeking some downtime.
So breeding season's over, probably doesn't have a chick left to feed anymore. So at that point, there's no reason to return to the colony.
Just enjoying the solitude.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ah.